Hello, in this video we're going to talk about lesson 6.4 polar coordinates. We're going to specifically talk about how to plot points in polar coordinates and how to read points in polar coordinates in this video. So polar coordinates are a method of locating points in space that's different from the more usual rectangular coordinates. We're used to plotting points with x and y values in a rectangular or square array. Polar coordinates are a circular array, and we locate points based on how far they are from the origin, the radius, and also what angle along which that radius lies. So here's an example. Let's say I want to plot the point A. Let's say we have a radius of 3 at 45 degrees. Okay, so first of all, we start with this number, the angle, and we track from standard position, so from the x-axis up to 45 degrees, and we want to be 3 rings out from the center. So along the 45-degree axis, but 3 rings out. And that would be point A. Okay? Another point might look like this. B, 3 at 180 degrees. Okay? So very similarly, we would track over to 180 degrees, and we want to be 3 rings out from the center, and that's B. Okay, so it's just a different way of locating points on a plane, but using r and theta instead of x and y. There's a couple of wrinkles that can happen. One is if I have a negative radius. So let's say I have negative 3 at 0 degrees. What would that look like? Well, I would be along the 0-degree axis or line, but instead of coming 3 out from the center, I would want to go in the other direction, 3 away from the center. So I'd actually land on the same point as B. 3, 180 is the same point as negative 3, 0. So that's kind of interesting. I can name the same point more than one way. You can't do that in the rectangular coordinate system. So that's a good advantage or disadvantage, but in the polar coordinate system, you can name points more than one way. And also negative radius means go the other way. So let's do another point here. Let's go, I've done a lot of 3 radiuses. Let's go negative 5, 45. What would that look like? Pause the video for a second if you like, and see if you can locate negative 5, 45. All right, let's see where point D would lie. I'm going to track over to the 45-degree line, but instead of coming out 5, I want to go in the opposite direction. So I'm tracking backwards 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that is location D. Okay, so find your 45-degree line, but instead of coming in that direction, go in the opposite direction, 5 spaces. There you go. All right, and then how about if I had a negative angle? So let's say I have 5 at negative 90 degrees. So my radius is positive, but my angle is negative. Negative angles are just measured clockwise. So instead of going this way around the circle, I'm going this way, 90 degrees. And then I have a positive 5 radius, so I'll go out along that line 5 spaces. Okay. All right, so that is how it looks, how it works. You can also do the same kind of thing using radians instead of degrees. So for that, let's see, I will find the one that has radians here. Okay, and let's do some practice problems here. Okay, like to plot these points, and I'm going to do it on a grid with radians. So 2 at pi over 3. So I would come over here to the pi over 3 angle, which is 60 degrees if you're in degree mode, and you want to go 2 out from the center. So 1, 2. And that's little a. All right. Pause the video for a minute and see if you can locate these 2 points on a grid of your own or on the one here. Let's see. I can pull that over a little bit. Pull that up. Okay. Pause the video and give it a try. All right, we're back. Let's see where this point is. I would find the 3 pi over 4 angle, and that's going to be way over here. But I have a -1 radius, so I'm going to find that angle, but instead of going along that way, I'm going to go backwards. So I'll end up here, 1 ring out in the opposite direction. There, right there. All right. And then I'm sorry, that was Q. Sorry, Q. And then for R, 3 is the radius, -45 degrees. So -45 would be on that same line. And we're going to be 3 out from the center. And that will be R. This one was hard to read. That's Q. Okay. And that is how polar coordinates work. R and theta.